Hi everybody, welcome to a rather sombre Big OGGIE world. Today is Friday.
It is.
Yesterday, I'm sure everyone knows by now, Queen Elizabeth II sadly passed away. Well, of natural causes, we believe.
Well, we don't know.
We
Actually,
don't know.
at the moment, they're not given any information. All we do know is that 2 days ago, she welcomed the new Prime Minister and she looked sprightly, she looked happy, she looked okay. So something obviously went quite seriously wrong in
In a short period of time.
In a very short period of time. We
quite
heard,
shocked, aren't you?
Yeah, we heard yesterday, sort of late morning, that she had been re-evaluated by her doctors and that they had recommended that she stayed under medical supervision, which in itself wasn't too worrying.
No, she'd been
initially.
frail for a while with various
I mean, she's
illnesses,
96,
injuries. 96,
so
yeah.
You expect a few, bad patches. I think the alarm bells started going off certainly when major royals, Prince Charles, Prince William.
Well, Charles was helicoptered in, I believe.
Yeah, he was helicoptered in.
You kind of know things are
with
happening
Camilla.
quite quickly then.
When major royals start dropping everything and jumping on planes and helicopters, you sort of think something's not really good here.
No.
And then we heard yesterday, sort of mid to late afternoon, that she'd passed away peacefully.
So
I'm quite sad. I have to say, I'm quite sad.
I went filming today for Big OGGIE Golf. I won't go out for a while. Yesterday I was actually out making quite a fun video, but that won't be for here, and that won't be going out at the moment. We just don't think that's right. Also, we're planning to do a couple of cocktails for today for our engagement anniversary, actually. So it's going to be quite a nice, fun thing, which we will do
another time.
So Kelly is more of a royal fan than I am, and let's just be honest. You watch a lot of details to do with royals. I never thought of myself as being a royal fan, but I'm a history fan. So I'm absolutely obsessed by royals here and what's happened over many, many years, from pre-medieval to medieval and through on. And yet it affected me too. You were getting quite emotional a lot at the moment about it, and I've been listening to a lot of radio today because I've been out filming, so I've been in the car a lot, and it's just amazing the outpouring that is happening. Look, she was 96. She had a good run.
She worked.
Yeah, but she never stopped.
Blinking hard. She worked to basically the day that she died.
Well, she was putting in a new Prime Minister 2 days ago, so she never stopped. And whether you support the royals or you don't support the royals,
we're not here for that.
We're not here for that. So if you're going to make stupid comments, just don't bother, because I'll remove them anyway. Okay? I might even just take you off the channel. It's not about that. I put a post on Instagram yesterday that said, okay, she had a privileged background, so they believe, lots of money, lots of all those kind of things. I wouldn't have wanted her life by a long way. All that money and all that stuff, it's not about that. You've only got to see the royals today, and you've only got to see now, that was Prince Charles, now King Charles III.
Yeah.
Having to go to Buckingham Palace today, seeing all those people, shaking hands with people, seeing all those flowers for his mother, only, not even 24 hours since her death. And I know how affected I was when my father died, and the day after, what state I was in. To actually be able to strong enough to do those kind of things, that's what you have to do as a royal. You are living in the public eye 24 hours a day. And I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that kind of life. So for her to give up literally her entire life, because she got, what was she, 26?
She was 26,
26
I think, when she
came to the throne. And that was a shock because her father died suddenly. And then to give her life, I'm choking myself, to give her whole life as work, as duty, that's just something people don't understand that nowadays. And I think, certainly for me, and I think for Kelly and for so many people out there today, not just about the outpouring of grief, that happens because there's so many people that are involved in this. There's an emptiness.
I just think at the end of the day, she had obviously a very important job, and you know, she's seen this country through good times and bad.
And some seriously bad ones, yeah.
And we have all looked to her at times for reassurance, or, you know, just that the fact that she was always there
A consistency.
made you sort of feel like, okay, everything's going to be all right.
Yeah.
She's not panicking, we're not panicking, it's all going to be okay. But at the end of the day, the thing that upsets me more than anything is that I know that at the bottom end of it all, she was just a mother, she was just a grandmother, and she was a great grandmother.
Yeah.
And I remember very, very clearly how I felt when my grandma passed.
Yeah.
I've not lost my mum, but I did lose my grandma, and I was absolutely devastated. And I think I'm really sad for the country's loss, but I'm really sad for her family that have to stiff up her lip this now.
Well, they have to do it all in public now.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not a lover of the younger royals, etc. That's fine. I've met Prince Charles a couple of times, just briefly as it kind of wandered by, because I live in Cornwall quite a lot, and obviously was Duke of Cornwall. So you see him quite a lot in Cornwall. I think he's got such a hard job, such an enormous shoes to fill, really. And that's kind of worrying as well for the country, because
he's just so different.
Well, Kelly and I have lived, and majority of most of you that are watching this video have never had a different person on the throne.
No, never known anything different.
And that's been the whole thing today, and it's missing to lots of things on the radio today. And that's the same thing that's going over and over to people at the moment. It's a little bit of confusion, it's a little bit of worry. We don't even know, we've never been there to see another king or queen pass away, to know what happens now, what the process is. So in a way, as a historian, it's kind of fascinating. But it's just something missing.
Deeply sad. It's just deeply sad.
It's just something you always assume is there. She's kind of been indestructible, you know. And we've seen her in various things. And I'm a sports fan, so obviously there was the Olympics, and you were doing wonderful things in jumping out of planes, supposedly, with James Bond, and then you looked Paddington Bear one that went on. So she had a great sense of humour. And I remember from sports things, England, Baltimore getting the Jules remake up in 1966 for football, and just various sporting events. Obviously we love horse racing, and she's been massive in that. So it's a bit strange. She's just always been there, and now she's not.
No, she's not.
We are going to do a cocktail today. We are going to do one because it's cocktail corner.
And it's the Queen's cocktail.
It is the Queen's cocktail. Rumour has it she had 4 different drinks during the day, but because they're kind of all spaced out a lot, it didn't really affect her. We are going to do her cocktail, which is Dubonnet and gin. Nothing complicated about this. This was the first one she had during the day. It was an aperitif. Dubonnet came out in about the century before. It was designed to cover up quinine when they used to give it to Dubonnet for the French Foreign Legion.
Okay.
So it's I think it's Chardonnay mixed with various herbs, etc. It's a very old-fashioned thing. But the Queen's mum, who we would known as the Queen Mother, Elizabeth the Queen Mother, Elizabeth Bowed Lyons, I believe, originally. This was her favourite drink in the 1920s, and our Queen basically picked it up from that.
It's carried on. Yeah.
So we're going to do it. It's very traditional. We're doing it over ice. I believe it's called a Zara when it's over ice. The idea is you have a slice of lemon, 2 ice cubes, which you kind of bury the lemon, really, that's the plan. It's very simple. The Queen Elizabeth II version has slightly less gin. Come get that open?
Yeah,
I know, one of those traditional things. So you get that open, I'll open the gin. Take note, always open the bottle before you get it started.
Oh, I see.
There we go.
That's what I've got.
Yeah, it's one of those old-fashioned classic
It's a cork.
things. It's a cork, even worse. No, plastic cork probably nowadays. So it's very much like a vermouth. So if you haven't got Dubonnet, which is actually quite tricky to get hold of, I was very lucky today, thank you Waitrose on the way through Truro.
It smells lovely.
So this can be shaken, it's basically stirred really, it's dead simple. 2 measures of Dubonnet. We've got quite large measures, we've got quite large glasses. to 1 measure of gin. So Dubonnet is a bit like a fortified wine. It's a kind of vermouth. It's about 14% alcohol. I think her mum used to have a little bit more gin, but each to their own. And that's another of those kind of duty things. In the end, I think the Queen started realising that her health needed to not improve, but to keep going for many, many years, which she did. You had to cut down a few things, eat more healthy, drink more healthily, so she did cut down the alcohol content, so there's like less alcohol in this now. We're also using Gordon's gin, because that's the gin she always used to love. And again, this is it's a kind of an era thing, isn't it? Because my mum and dad was always Gordon's gin. Nowadays, modern generation, there's a lot more types of gin out there, but it was always Gordon's when you get to a certain age.
But I think when you think about, Gordon's gin and Dubonnet or whatever, it just, again, it comes back to that thing that she's just a woman. She's just a normal woman who's had to live in exceptional circumstances.
Yeah, very strange life.
Yeah.
A very hard life. And people are going to say, oh, yeah, loads of money, blah, blah. But no, it's going to be tough. To be in the public eye and be under scrutiny, no matter even if your own normal house,
when you
with people around you all the
see
time.
your husband die in the middle of COVID pandemic and you have to go into that church under the eyes of the whole nation and probably the world, and sit there alone in a corner, that is stoicism.
Yeah.
That is bravery, and what can you say?
Bravery,
you
actually.
just, what
You've
can
only
you
got
say?
to go through a funeral service of someone you really love to understand that bravery. So we're gonna finish this video now. We're gonna finish this with a little toast.
We're going to take this and we're going to wait for King Charles
III
to make his
Sounds
address.
very strange.
Yeah, I know. To make his address to the nation tonight.
6 o'clock.
6
So I
o'clock.
hope you get this video out fairly soon.
So,
Cheers, my darling.
cheers.
God
To
bless
the
you,
Queen.
Majesty.
I hope you rest well, ma'am.
You're back with your husband now. That's a bit potent. Wow. But it's an aperitif. It's one of those kind of things that
It's nice
get
and
your
cold.
taste buds going, which is what it was for. So, God bless your Majesty. Rest in peace. The Queen is dead.
Long live the king.
Long live the King.
Bye, everyone.